going to talk about ACRX, ACRX Pharmaceuticals Incorporated. This company rose 30% on, their share price rose 30% on yesterday, January 12th. And it fell a bit and then it just continually rose. Now, what was the reason? We don't know the reason. I have a theory of my own and I'll explain that right now. So the theory I have is that I think this company will get FDA approval for their drug Zalvizo, and I think they'll get it in the US because they've shown us that were able to get FDA approval for Dzuvio in Europe, and then they were able to get this is the same drug, by the way, and Dzuvia in US they were able to get FDA approval. So they got FDA approval in both these countries, no problem. They've already got FDA approval for Zalvizo in Europe, so why can't they get Zalvizo FDA approved in US? Maybe I think they can. Like they're already done phase 1, phase 2, and they're almost, either they're finished phase 3 or they're almost done phase 3. Looks like they're finished phase 3. Oh, look, Zalvizo has completed phase 3 trials, 2 placebo-controlled efficacy and safety trials, and 1 open label active comparator trial in which Zalvizo was compared to 4-PCA morphine. Each of the 3 phase 3 trials successfully achieved its primary endpoint. Based on FDA feedback, ACRX has completed a 4th study in a diverse post-surgical population to further evaluate overall performance of the Zalvizo system. Amazing! This is amazing. So yeah, it looks like they will get FDA approval. I mean, like, as long as they're communicating with FDA, that's an amazing sign. Now, how does this relate to the chart? Very interesting. Let me show you how it relates to the chart, how I think it relates to the chart. Cumulatively, this had 30, I'm not going to like pull up the volume numbers, waste of my time, but I know that this volume bar is 38 million from an annual perspective. So cumulatively, 38 million traded on that yesterday. Now you go back over here, you can see here on October 10th, volume was roughly the same amount. This is basically like 30 million. Very high volume yesterday and previously. Now on October 10th, when there was this 30 million volume, they did not have FDA approval for their Dzuvio or whatever it was. What was it? Dzuvia. And it was actually, it's so funny. They got FDA approval for Dzuvio first in Europe and then in US. So it's actually kind of following the same pattern here. Now, what happened is, so they got news here. So there was no press release, just like yesterday, no press release. Jumps all the way up to here. And my idea is, like, this is smart money. This is an investment firm coming in, buying tons of shares, moves up, and then you see the volatility here. There was a trading halt, and then they kind of mentioned in a press release, oh yeah, we had a trading halt for volatility, and by the way, we're like in communication with FDA committee about our new drug. What was it? Their NDA that was filed. This thing. And then it falls again. Falls quite significantly, and then it starts to rise and it pops $1 on FDA approval news. Okay, so that's what I want to bank on. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm like, nothing is absolute, but that's my idea. They got FDA approval on November 2nd, so it was about, what was it? It was about let's see, a little less than 2 months. No, wait, that's only a month, right? That's nearly just 1 month. Wow. So it could be very soon. I will definitely try to get in the stock again. I definitely made a big mistake exiting way too soon, but hopefully I can correct that. So yeah, that's a really important thing I needed to talk about. Now I'll show you how I should have and would have traded on it had I been a little less emotional. Not even a little less emotional. I just needed to use more tools in my toolbox. Channel breakout was really key, and so was the band and hit count, and I didn't have those open. I literally just used my algo, and then I had set the algo to fast because when a stock moves really fast, you want to set it to fast. It will generally catch the best buys and sells if you set the algo to fast. I'm trying to automate this, but yeah, I haven't had luck doing that yet. It's difficult, so that's why I haven't had luck doing it yet. But hopefully I will. And when I do, this indicator, this toolbox, it's going to be like insanely powerful. I suggest you get it now before, while it's cheap. Literally, this is like the last week I'm gonna, what week is it? It is, yeah, I will leave until the end of Friday to be like selling this for the price it's at. It's like super cheap. It's like 30 bucks. Anyone could afford that. Yeah, so if you get in it now, then I'll give it to you for 30 bucks, but then later on I'm 100% increasing the price because it's really amazing tools. There's a lot of, and you get access to all of these other, there's all these other indicators too. So there's like 50 indicators technically because there's different settings. There's about like almost 30 indicators in here. And basically there's different settings for them, and you get confluence too. Actually, I should have probably shown that. So I won't do it now. I feel like this is enough. So anyways, fast signals are saying buy here and then sell here, okay? Decent trade, not the best. I would have said buy here and probably sell over here. That's what I would have said. Then Heiken Ashi kind of says the same thing, basically. But this is like more, I feel like it's more versatile, more flexible. So it said to buy here, sell here, and then when you see less fast movement, you can slow down the algorithm, and it will give you a lot slower signals. So then afterwards, it says to sell. I believe it says to sell like over here or something. Okay, it says to sell over here, and then you don't touch the stock after a while. You can see here it breaks out and then it pops on it like bounces off this middle line. And whenever a stock is having this behavior, this is generally uptrending behavior. So I would have liked to get in over here. This would have been like, for me, this would have been a nice entry point. What I would have liked to do, and what I wish to have done, was this. I got in over here at 1.84, I think, because I thought it was just going to keep going up. It didn't. This was a low float stock, I believe. Anyway, so it went over here, it fell down, and then it just continued to fall down, okay? Now I'm going to show you the channel breakout tool. So basically the channel breakout tool, it connects all the highs and it connects all the lows. And what that does, it helps us find where the breakout occurs. So you can see here that it's basically pointing to one point over here. It's converging at this point. So had you kept this in mind, had you had saw this picture, you would have known that you should buy above the dotted line and sold below the dotted line. And especially because you can see like a clear channel here. It's a clear downwards channel. Most of the lines are pointing downwards, and that's why you can see here it's fuchsia, which means strongly recommended you sell. And here it was like here you had it was red, and that was kind of because the price was still going up a bit. But then anyways, so generally downward channel for the whole thing. And basically what I should have done is waited for the downward channel to be a bit longer, and then bought in right on the breakout or right before the breakout. That would have been really ideal. And you can see here there's some good buy-in prices. You can this shows how the price was hitting the lower bands 3 times. You can see here that it shows the price was hitting the upper bands 6 times. And this is like a decent ratio where you want to get in. The way my band hit count indicator works is you want to be comparing how many times the lower bands are hitting the upper bands. So here 6 is greater than 3, and there's a long pause. Whenever there's a long pause, you can generally predict that the trend will change. It's not like 100%, but it can happen. So in this case, it was a fair comparison. So 6 versus 3, 6 is greater than 3. You could have bet that it was going to go up again. So had you done that and you bought over here at 1.71, it would have gone up and hit the, whoa, it's a little too fast. Slow down. So you could have gone up and then it starts to uptrend. Goes up and hits the upper bands 3 times, bounces on the middle. This is just the behavior of uptrending stock. Bounce on the middle and starts to uptrend, and then you have this clear channel going up. Now you could have held, which would have been wise because it does eventually go up. And that's actually what I did. I actually held, well, I actually held because I had faith. For looking at super trend, I could see that yes, it was falling, which was horrible, and I was upset about that. I actually should have taken a loss or small loss or something, and then bought over here again, and then, you know, had some sort of a gain here, and then I shouldn't have sold. Had I used the channel breakout tool, I would have held on. I would have held on a lot longer, and you can see here that, well, damn, slow down. This is just a replay. Yeah, so you could see here that it was bouncing, and then I could have taken profit on any of these bounces. That would have been fine.